Hey guys, how's it going? This is gonna be my first video on something like this. I have something very special. This is something that I've never really done before. My channel is basically guitar videos and what may have you. But this is something that I cherish, and I don't know if you can see from the background. This is a 1997 Nissan Skyline R33. I've had this car for over 2-ish years, so I would like to share my story, give some insight as to how I obtained this car, overall everything. So if you guys would like to see more stuff like this, car-related content, let me know down in the description, or excuse me, down in the comments. And without further ado, let's get into it. I guess first things first is, how long have I had the car? I've had it since 2023. This car has been with me at my second duty station on Andersen Air Force Base, Guam. I've had it for a very long time. It didn't look anything like this, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I bought the car on Guam, and it was a pretty shady process. So there was a typhoon. I had a car, it was like a 2019 Mitsubishi Mirage or something like that. The typhoon hit, and it was so strong that it blew that car to the side and it totaled it. Afterwards, I was like, okay, well, I need a car. I didn't have enough money. There was this guy who had an open lot, and he would sell like used vehicles. It was pretty shady. It was like in this fence, like gated fence, open lot, like just exposed to all the elements and stuff like that. And I was just not trying to go to something like that, but I had no choice. Saw this car, but it looked different. This is actually not a GTR. It has like a GTR front end installed right now, but it had the stock front end, obviously. And I was like, oh, I like that. It looks pretty cool. And he was selling it for maybe like, he was trying to get it for 10 grand. At that time, I didn't really know much about vehicles, but I wasn't stupid. I ended up doing my inspection, right? Checked the tires, I couldn't really see the pads, checked fluids, checked everything, turned the car on, and a couple things popped out to me. One of them being was the fuel gauge in the car didn't work. I didn't really understand because, for one, I was like, oh, he's probably has it super low on gas because, people tend to steal cars, right? You'd think, he's just trying to keep himself safe. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. The second thing was a squeaking noise, and it ended up coming from the harmonic balancer it was just being held by friction. It wasn't even like one whole piece. It was like 2 whole pieces. I think I have a photo, and I'll post it on there. Suffice it to say, it was a huge deal. And I didn't really know how to go about it. And then I had a buddy that I bought parts from in Japan. Anyways, so that's how I bought the car, was from this guy. He was asking for like 10 something. I was like, yeah, no, I'll give you 7. How about that? And he was like, all right. So then I bought the car for 7 grand. I ended up getting here stateside. I'm in Colorado, shipped it for free, thanks to the military. So really all I paid for was the car itself. Then there was another glaring issue. It ended up being my worst nightmare of this car. The gas tank was leaking, and I had to deal with that for over a year because Guam is a US territory, and there's like some maritime law that says that you're only able to ship like big components and stuff if you own a business or if you have a home address. At that time, I only had a PO box, like a military PO box. Most part companies and stuff, they don't ship to PO boxes, so I was kind of messed up on there. So I ended up having to wait till I got here, and then I ended up getting a fuel cell installed. It was just a breath of fresh air because now I have a fuel cell in the trunk and no more gas leaks, no more leaks, and I was so happy. But there's still some problems with the car, obviously. So what I mentioned before was this is actually an aftermarket, not aftermarket, this is a GTR front end swap. So this is a, like, fenders, bumper, this is a V-spec, bumper, fenders, hood, little, that lip right there, the headlights, everything on this front end is GTR V-spec. I ended up getting into a really bad car accident here, and it was unfortunate, but I ended up getting through it all. And now it looks a lot more cooler than it did before, but that is just like a weird thing for people, because every time I drive out here, people are always like shocked that it says GTR, but it's not a GTR. So it's just funny to me. It was a scary time getting into that car accident, and I'm happy that I have it here, safe and sound, and you know, it runs and drives. That is my car. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a really long time, but I didn't really know how to go about it. I still don't know how to go about it. I'm new to making like real life content, car content. I've always been a guitar guy. You know, my channel is just mainly guitar videos, and it's my first time showing my face, I believe. And I haven't really uploaded in a minute, so I've been super busy with work and life and things like that. It's just hard for me to just keep a schedule, especially with my work. I just get pretty drained. So yeah, for something like this, this is something that is a passion of mine, alongside with playing music, and I've always dreamed of owning something like this, and now that my dreams come true, the next step in my chapter of owning this car. I put quite a bit of miles on it, and it's just a huge thing for me. I love this car to death. I don't care what anyone says on it. So I guess the next question is, what have I done aside from the GTR front end? A lot of the stuff that I've done to this car is just basic, you know, modern upgrades. I've done a aftermarket head unit. I've done LED lights. I've done coilovers. It has BC Racing coilovers on it. It's got aftermarket speakers. Dash lights are all LEDs, or all interior lights are LEDs. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't just the, so okay. I did the GTR conversion along with the side skirts. So I don't know if you can see side skirts, but it's got the front end, side skirts. I even have the wing, but I don't have it on me. It's actually at the shop that this was getting done at. That all happened. Now, you're probably gonna ask, like, why did you do a GTR conversion? If you could have just went OEM. Well, that's the problem, is that finding a front end for this car is insanely expensive, and let alone rare. And the more common aftermarket kits and would be GTR front ends. So that being said, there was the guy at the shop. He was like, hey, I can't find everything that you're looking for, but I ended up finding something better. It's actually a whole cutout of like a GTR front end. And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be sick. And he got it for just as much he was quoting me for like getting just like an OEM front end that it used to look like. So I ended up saying, okay, let's do the GTR front end. And now it looks 100% better. I think I did right by doing this kind of front end. That's why I did it. It was just as much, if not cheaper, to get a GTR front end installed. And with that being said, for people who want to say OEM or OEM plus, I'm sorry, it is a predicament to say the least, especially since I live here in the US. If I was on Guam, then maybe, but here everything's just so expensive, especially for a guy like me. You know, I just barely make enough minimum wage, and you know, owning a car like this is a privilege, and I'm just lucky. I'm lucky to own this thing. So yeah, this is a dream car of mine that I've really wanted to own for years. You know, I've seen all the Fast and Furious movies. I've seen everything. The reason why I still keep it is because I'm a sentimental guy. If it wasn't for this car, I probably wouldn't have the friends that I do now, and I don't know where I'd be without this car. And it might sound very silly, but it's the truth. And you can say what you want, you know, it is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, you know, I just want to be happy. Being able to drive this thing in and of itself is a reward, because these cars, they're just, there's a time limit, you know. Owning a car like this it's something that I will want to cherish for a really long time. So thank you guys so much for watching. This isn't something that I do at all. I just wanted to talk and just get your guys' opinion on if I should do more stuff like this, do other things like, you know, drive content, drives, you know, working on it, things like that. I just wanted to, you know, break the ice, so to speak. I've never really done car content, like I said previously, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. If you guys do want to see stuff like this or are interested, just let me know in the comments or hitting that like button. Have a good old time. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.